The White House has publicly named more than 40 countries, including India, Canada, Mexico, and Japan, accusing them of assisting China in sidestepping American tariffs. Now, the claim centers on a practice called transshipment, where Chinese goods are routed through other nations before actually reaching the United States. But how does this allow Chinese goods to avoid higher duties? Let's delve into that. Now, these nations often face lower import duties as compared to China. This means that goods can pass through them before entering the United States, effectively avoiding the higher tariffs that are meant to apply to Chinese products. So how much trade is allegedly being rerouted? Now, the accusation is detailed in a White House document titled The Great Transshipment Scam. According to the Financial Times, the report puts the value of this rerouted trade at $60 billion. However, it also references other estimates from government sources as well as private analysts ranging from $40 billion to $303 billion. But why is there such a wide difference in the estimates? The gap highlights just how difficult it is to ascertain the true scale of this practice. Now, let's talk about who exactly is behind this report. The report was issued by Peter Navarro, who leads the White House Office of Trade and Manufacturing Policy. He described China's tactics as extremely sophisticated, noting that China has relied on these methods since President Trump first imposed tariffs on Chinese goods back in the year 2018. But have Donald Trump's newer tariffs made this problem worse? Now, the Financial Times reports that tariff rates introduced by Trump last year have only intensified this issue. Now, by creating larger gaps between the duties paid by different countries, the policy has given exporters more incentive to reroute shipments through lower tariff nations instead of shipping them directly from China. In fact, Navarro was pretty blunt in his criticism. He said China has used more than 40 nations to reroute its exports for years, describing the practice as a scam that has cost the US Treasury tens of billions of dollars and also hurt millions of American workers. Now, India has also been named in this list. The White House has placed India in Tier 1 or diversified scale leaders alongside major economies including Canada, European Union, Israel, Japan, Mexico, South Korea, and Taiwan. Now, the report describes these countries as large industrial bases where the risk of transshipment is embedded within the legitimate trade. But what does this crackdown actually mean for India? Now, the crackdown comes at a very sensitive time, with Washington and New Delhi engaged in complex talks over a reciprocal tariff deal. These negotiations are further complicated by US pressure over India's purchase of the Russian oil. The US Trade Representative's office has confirmed that anti-transshipment clauses are now being written into every new deal, with penalties for countries that allow disguised Chinese goods through their ports. Now, let's talk about the timing of this development. The timing also plays a very crucial role in this story. The report comes just 6 weeks before President Xi Jinping is set to travel to Washington for a reciprocal visit, following Trump's visit to Beijing in May. Now, despite the one-year truce agreed by the two leaders, Donald Trump and Xi Jinping, in South Korea last October, tensions between Washington and Beijing still remain, and that friction is continuing on multiple fronts. In fact, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent recently said that he and US Trade Representative Jamaica Greer questioned Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng during a call on whether Beijing is honoring its commitment not to restrict rare earth exports to the United States. But China has raised concerns of its own. Beijing has expressed frustration over new US national security measures, including the Federal Communications Commission's decision to ban imports of Chinese-made robots. Now, to tackle transshipment, Navarro said that US Customs and Border Protection is rolling out a new AI-powered system called the Detective Border. The system is designed to more accurately analyze what goods are actually made of, helping ensure they are correctly labeled for for the tariff purposes. But how much could this technology actually bring in? Now, Navarro claimed that the system alone could generate tens of billions of dollars in additional tariff revenue for the US Treasury while creating thousands of new jobs for American workers. What are your thoughts in this video? Do let us know in the comment section below.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.